Yes, students. So now we go to the concept of the beekeeping. So how will you keep the bees for animal husbandry? Let's see. Honey is widely used. Okay, fine. We know honey means the shahad, or you can say madhu. Okay. Therefore, beekeeping for making honey has become an agriculture enterprise. Obviously, how will you get honey? Honey you won't get it from the cows or crows or dogs. For honey, you need to have bees, right? So now how will you keep in stock of bees so that you get the honey? So this has become a sort of an agricultural thing. See, since beekeeping needs low investment, farmers use it as an additional income generating activity. So low investment means what? So in order to keep bees, you do not need much money, you do not need huge capital. Okay, you do not need 100,000 crores or something like that. In fact, you can do it with 1000 rupees or 2000 rupees, like that. So what happens is that farmers, so suppose a farmer has cattle also. So from the cattle, the farmer is generating quite huge amount of profit, but at the same time the cattle feels that no, now I need more amount of money, so let me keep bees. Understood? So in one way to keep the cattle, he has to spend lot of money for the proper sheds, for the proper food for the cattle, isn't it? So the farmer has to spend a lot amount of money in order to maintain the cattle. And of course, when he has to spend so much amount of money to maintain the cattle, what happens is that he will get profit also, but at the same time he feels that no, I want to have more income in my life, and so let's go for the beekeeping, because for beekeeping you do not need to spend a huge amount of money in maintaining it. Okay, in addition to honey, okay, the beehives are a source of wax. So from the bees we not only get honey, but beehives means what? The places where the bees they stay, isn't it? These beehives are a source of wax. Wax you must have seen, like sort of a candle kind of a thing, source of wax, which is used in various medicinal preparations. Okay, this wax are used for various medicinal issues. Okay, now the local varieties of bees are used for commercial honey production. And that means the local, which we have very the Indian thing which we have, they are used for commercial production. Commercial production means this Dabur honey that you see, and various other companies. I'm not able to recall it right now. So these are what commercially that are produced, and then it is brought into the market and then we buy it. So that is commercial. Okay, now what is the name of the bees? That is very important. Apis cerana indica. This is an Indian bee, commonly known as Indian bee, Apis cerana indica. This is an Indian bee. Okay. Apis dorsata. See, Apis is the genus name. Okay, here they have written it once, so they are not repeating it again and again. Okay, so this is Apis dorsata. That means a little variety. That is called as a rock bee, and A flore means Apis flore, that is known as the little bee. So which one is the Indian bee, which one is the rock bee, which one is the little bee? So you have to remember the names. Apis cerana indica is the Indian bee, Apis dorsata is the rock bee, and Apis flore is the little bee. Now there is another variety which is called as the Italian bee variety, which is called as the Apis mellifera. Again, remember the name. This is not an Indian bee, this is an Italian bee. So the Italian bee variety name is Apis mellifera. And why is it so important? Because it has increased yield of honey. That means this Apis mellifera, which is an Italian variety, it produces more and more amount of honey. That's why it is very important. Okay, now I don't know what is the problem with this. Anyway, please ignore this thing. Let's go next. I shall mark it with blue so that you understand it. All right, next let's see. This is the variety commonly used for commercial honey production. Okay, so this Apis mellifera thing that we have seen, which is the Italian variety, that is basically used mostly for the Which one? For all sorts of commercial production. Okay, this variety commonly used for commercial honey production, Apis mellifera. Understood? Now, the Italian bees have high honey collection capacity. That means it can collect huge amount of honey. It produces and collects huge amount of honey. They sting somewhat less. Sting means, that means it, when it sits on your on you, on a person, on the skin of a person, it does not sting. Okay, it does not uh, uh, I mean bite or something, if I am able to make you understand. They stay in a given beehive for long periods and breed very well. So Apis mellifera, what is its khasiyat, or you can say what is so speciality of Apis mellifera, is first and foremost high honey collection. Number one, production of honey is very high. Then they sting very less. So if you stand in front of the Apis mellifera bee, it is not going to sting you in that way, ferocious way. Then third is, they stay in a given beehive for long periods. So in the beehive they stay, that is, beehive means what? It's their home, isn't it? So in the home they stay for a long period of time and they keep on generating the honey, and they breed very well. Breed very well means the reproduction rate or the capacity is very good. So we got 4 points why Apis mellifera is important. Now, for commercial honey production, bee farms or apiaries are established. So apiaries means what? The places where huge bee hives are present and then commercial production takes place. Understood? Now, commercial production is at a large quantity and that is being sold in the market. Next, the value or quality of honey depends upon the, now you see, what is the quality of the honey? How will you understand? Depends on number one, pasturage. Pasturage means it's the land where pastures grow. Pastures are what? Pastures are your green grasses. That means the soil quality all over, you can say. So number one, it depends on your pasturage, or the flowers available to the bees for nectar and pollen collection. So number one is a pasturage. Pasturage means the land where pastures grow. Then again your next question is, ma'am, what is pasture? Pasture means where you get the green grasses and everything. Okay. The number two is the flowers available to the bees for nectar. Now you see, if the soil quality is good, then the quality of the flower will also be good. Now inside the flower we have what? We have the nectar. Okay. Now this nectar is being collected by whom? By the bees, and is taken to the beehive for the generation of honey. So number one, your value or quality of honey depends on pasturage. Number one. Okay. Flower available to the bees for nectar. Okay, what quality of flower do you have? So if it's a good quality flower, good quality of nectar you are going to get, and also your pollen collection, the pollen grains, that is the male gametes. Okay, so these three things, pasturage, flowers available to the bees for nectar, and the pollen collection, determines the value or the quality of honey. Pollen collection, you know, if the good quality of pollen, good quality of male gametes is taken and is then fertilized, the fertilization take place with a female gamete, then we are obviously going to get a good quality of flower, isn't it? A poor quality of pollen grain, pollen grain means what? It's a male gamete, isn't it? If a poor quality of male gamete goes and fertilizes, okay, with the female gamete, then a very poor quality of flower will take place. That's why the pollen collection is also important. More number of pollen collection is there, more amount of fertilization will take place. Less pollen collection is there, less fertilization will take place. And less fertilization means what? Less number of flowers. Okay, less number of flowers means less honey. Okay, in addition to adequate quantity of pasturage, the kind of flowers available will determine the taste of the honey. What kind of flowers do you have? Good quality, bad quality, in that variety of flowers. In that way, your honey's taste will also determine. So I hope you all have understood very clearly about the beekeeping industry.